Hello, bakers and bakerettes. How are you? I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. I'm having a pretty good day. It could be a lot better, but it's today. It's the day that the Lord has made, so I shall rejoice and be glad in it. All right. So, um, what are we gonna do today? Today, I'm going to make an easy recipe, and this is something that I actually saw on Facebook, and I want to try it and see how it turns out. I make fudge all the time, mostly in the winter months, because fudge is something that you do when it's a cooler temperature. We've had 2 days of rain, and it just kind of like cooled it off, and it's pretty cool, and I left my air on. So I said I want to give this a try because I have a student who likes snickerdoodles, and I'm actually going to bake her some snickerdoodle cookies on tomorrow. And today I saw this on Facebook and I said, oh, I'll try it. And she can tell me how good it is or how bad it is or how close it is to the cookies. So I'm going to do her a Snickerdoodle Fudge. And then I'm going to bake some Snickerdoodle cookies to go along with it. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. This recipe calls for your premium baking classic white chocolate chips, in which you'll need 3 cups. And this bag is usually about 4 cups, to be exact. So you need 3 cups of the white chips, and you're going to place them in the boiler. And you're going to need 1 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk, whichever brand you desire. So what you're going to do is you put your sweetened condensed milk and your chips in the boiler, and of course we're going to and this is a good can of sweetened condensed milk. It doesn't have the sediment on the bottom. Awesome. Did you guys miss me? Because the last 2 recordings, they were already pre-recorded. And I just had them set to upload. Right. So I'll let these melt on like a low to medium heat. You don't have to let them melt fast because you don't want to burn or scorch them. I actually have the eye on. I had the eye on 2, and I put the boiler on there first, and then I added everything. And I'm gonna turn it up to about 3. I just want them to melt. You want it to melt, and you want it to be like smooth and creamy. Make sure all the chips melt. It's only really 5 ingredients. It's the white chocolate chips, the sweetened condensed milk. You're gonna add your baking vanilla, which is gonna be a half a teaspoon, and then of course I'm using Watkins. I give these a good stir. Seems like it's melting pretty well. Right? Not quite ready yet. So while this is getting ready, you want to get out a 9 by 5 inch loaf pan, and you're gonna line it with parchment paper. You know, I always spray my pan. Even though I line it, I always spray it. But if you would like to oil yours, you may do so. And it is a nice big pan, but I always spray it. You never know. Right. All right. So now that everything is melted, it's smooth and creamy, I'm gonna stir it up really good. This one should turn out because you actually have to put this one in the refrigerator. That's another reason I opted to try it. Was because you can actually cool it. And you can actually store it in the freezer, and you can also store it in your refrigerator. So this one should turn out pretty good. All right. So now once everything's melted, you want to turn your owl, and you're going to remove it from the heat, because at this point you don't need heat. You're going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of your vanilla extract. But if you don't like vanilla and you want to use lemon or butter or any of the other extracts, you may do so. Okay, you're going to mix this in. It's very smooth and very creamy. It's almost like taffy. It almost looks like taffy instead of fudge. Next, you would like to add your cinnamon. So you're going to need 1 1/4 teaspoon of your ground cinnamon. 1 1/4 teaspoon. And we're going to mix the cinnamon in. And this smells so good. I would want to put this in like some cinnamon rolls, or use it as a glaze for the cinnamon rolls. Of course, you'd have to add milk to thin it. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is prepare the topping for it. the topping, it should be an equal portion of sugar and cinnamon. So I'll put in 2 tablespoons of sugar. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. That's a hard piece of sugar. I'll take it out. And also I'll do 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. And then you're just gonna mix the sugar. If you like to buy the cinnamon and sugar already mixed, that's fine. You may do so. Or you can just do the ratio. 1 to 2 tablespoons of 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1 tablespoon of cinnamon, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. It's like a ratio and equality. All right. Actually, I will put just a little more white sugar, about another 1/2 teaspoon. All right. So now I'm going to take the mixture and I'm going to transfer it to my loaf pan. It's still a little bit warm. Kind of difficult to do the transfer here. As always, you should always use a cup of cold water when doing the transfer, but it's okay. It'll still transfer over. This one's gonna turn out really good, and it's very quick. So again, if you're looking for something for dessert, you want something to be really quick, especially for the kiddos, here you go. This is my second time trying something that I saw on YouTube and it actually turned out right. Not on YouTube, on Facebook, and it actually turned out okay. Because usually I'd be skeptical. I think people just doing stuff, want people to click on their pages. But this was pretty simple. And I was like, what could go wrong? If all else fails, I was thinking I could always cut it by adding some milk to it and using it as a, as I said earlier, as a glaze for cinnamon rolls or a filling, or a glaze for a cake or a cookie. I mean, because I said, well, if I do the cookies, if this doesn't turn out, I can always use this as a glaze to put either on top of them or beneath. All right, so here we go. So we'll just push it down, pat it, make sure it's evenly distributed in the pan. Seems like it's gonna turn out really good. How hard is it just to melt some ingredients, mix them up, add spices, sprinkle a little sugar, cinnamon sugar on top? I mean, how hard is it? Alright. So I'll wet it and then I'll make it smooth. You don't put a lot of water, just make sure it's cold water on the spoon and you just smooth it out on the top. Right. Now I'm gonna do something different than what they did in their recipe. Okay, this is what it looks like. Now I'm going to take the cinnamon and sugar, and of course I'm going to sprinkle it on top. Oh, that's how it is when you have so much stuff. I was looking for the smaller strand, and that's okay. We'll do it this way. So I'm going to sprinkle this, and this is the Snickerdoodle. I'm going to sprinkle the cinnamon and sugar on top, just as the recipe calls. And I'm going to place it in the refrigerator for 2 hours and allow it to cool and set and mold. When I remove it from the refrigerator, I'm gonna cut it into like 1-inch squares. Okay, this is what it looks like on top. I'm gonna let it cool for 2 hours in the refrigerator. Then I'm going to, or just chill for 2 hours. I'm going to cut it into squares, and then I'm gonna take those squares and I'm going to roll them in the cinnamon and sugar, same as what I put on the top. I'm gonna roll the whole thing in the cinnamon and sugar. Right. So to the refrigerator it goes. I also made some homemade nectar to put in my hummingbird feeder because my hummingbirds are going crazy because it's been out for about 2 days, if not 3. But I just did 4-part water and 4 cups of water and 1 cup of sugar, and I just heated it lightly until the sugar was dissolved, and then I'm going to transfer it to the feeder and place it back outside. So maybe when they come back tomorrow, they'll like me a little bit better because the feed is back. But the reason the feeder's been out and the reason I had pre-recorded is because I had a procedure done on last week, and I kind of pre-recorded video so that it wouldn't go lag and I wouldn't just vanish for a week or 2. But I'm doing better. Today was a much better day. I actually went to work face-to-face like Wednesday and Thursday. Only because the students kept calling, texting, emailing, saying that they try to, I guess, make you feel better or feel good, like they really miss you. They told me that they just had to see my face. So I did go Wednesday and Thursday, just see how it would go. And I rested all day yesterday, and I rested pretty much today. So I'm gonna do these because this doesn't take long, so I don't have to stand and just be involved. And then I will sit down tomorrow and I will do the cookies for her. And I was supposed to do these a week ago, well actually 2 weeks ago, and then I got sick unexpectedly, and then I know I didn't have COVID, and I was gonna do it the week before I went in, and I was like, I really just didn't feel like it. And then I had to get some vegan butter because I went out to get the butter, and nobody had vegan butter here because she's the vegan student, and I don't do anything unless it's exactly the way a person wants it, as I tell you guys. So I had to wait until my local store actually had their shipment come in so I could get the right butter and not just use any butter because she is strictly vegan. And so now that I have it, I can do the cookies for her. So that's where I've been. That's why I've been somewhat quiet, not a lot on the community page. But I'm much better. Today I said it's been a much better day than the previous week. Alrighty, so thank you guys for joining me. I will place you on a brief pause, and I'm gonna allow these to stay in the refrigerator, and while they're chilling, I'm gonna go ahead and fill my feeder and get it ready for my hummingbirds. And then I will pick you back up when it's time to take them out, and I will slice them in 1-inch squares, and I will roll them in the remaining cinnamon and sugar topping that I have for you, and then I will package them up and have them ready to deliver. So hang tight. Hello everyone, I'm back. So this is the final product. I've already sliced them into like 1-inch squares. And what I did was I took them and it's like lightly dust them like on the sides with the cinnamon and sugar. So I kind of like put the cinnamon and sugar all the way around on all of the corners instead of just putting it on the top. So these are going to be some true snickerdoodles. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to place them in the bag. Okay. Looks like I'm gonna get 2 bags. Okay. And I did wash my hand prior to this, so I just pick them up, put them in the bag, and then I'm going to add some of the cinnamon and sugar that's left on the just gonna take my tablespoon here and I'm gonna scoop up some of this cinnamon and sugar and I'm gonna sprinkle it in the bag. This is just so that they'll roll in it. They won't stick together. They'll still have the particles of the sugar to keep them separate. And I left them in the refrigerator. I let them chill for exactly 2 hours. And I roll them around in the bag in it. And that's just well, they smell really good. Then, of course, I'm going to tie them up. Then I have 2 bags of Snickerdoodle Fudge. Alright guys, I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank you for coming along with me on this prep in preparing the Snickerdoodle Fudge. Like I said, this is a recipe that I saw on Facebook and I just opted to try it. It turned out really, really well. I actually got 2 bags and each one has 20 pieces of the Snickerdoodle in them. And I did add some additional cinnamon and sugar to the bag just to constantly they'll roll around in it and they won't like stick together. So even though it's as we say hot August, after these 2 days of rain, it's kind of cool. The temperature's kind of moderate. The fudge turned out really, 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 really well. As you can see, it turned out really good. This is something that you probably could make like just as a snack to have around the house, like you can take to the office, you know, just to have. You can take to office parties. You can have actually serve it for the holidays. Have it as a holiday treat to have around your home. It smells really wonderful. The cinnamon, of course, always does. Or just a recipe that you can use just because, you know, and it's something you can have for your children after school or, you know, when their friends come over. It'd be a nice little treat. Right? So thanks again for allowing me to bake or no bake your day my way. Even though it was Facebook style, because this recipe came off Facebook. I really appreciate you. If you're a subscriber, thanks so much for subscribing. If you just drifted by, stopped in, thanks for joining us, and I hope you will consider subscribing. I'd also like to ask that if you are a subscriber or if you had just watched the videos, if you would, please click the like button, which is the thumb up. that just pushes the videos out into the YouTube algorithm, and it just says it's a positive video and that it's worth watching. All right. Also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would like to invite you to consider subscribing. We have a lot of wonderful recipes, a lot of epic bakes, not a lot of fails, but you know, I'm sure in the future when we try something, nothing always comes out right. I didn't actually anticipate this to turn out because it came off Facebook, but unfortunately, fortunately, it did. Turned out really well. Okay. So yeah, you have to be wary of those recipes. But thanks again for watching. I appreciate you. Again, let's please like, subscribe, comment, and share. Also, remember to stay positive. We spread positive vibes on this channel so that others will see the light in you. Be the person that you want others to be. Treat others the way you would like to be treated. Also, we don't know what people go through from day to day. And I say this on every video. You could be the only positive vibe or positivity, positive word, a smile, a hug, just a gentle, kind word that a person sees or hears during that day that can make a difference to them. So let's keep spreading the vibes. Let's keep spreading positivity. Stay focused, motivated, stay encouraged, motivate others, encourage others, enlighten others. Let's just all try to have a wonderful rest of the weekend, a wonderful week, and a beautiful life. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys on the next bake, which will be the Snickerdoodle cookies, vegan Snickerdoodle cookies that will go with the Snickerdoodle fudge. I'll see you guys on the next one.